It's Friday, March 6th, 2026, and we could be seeing some significant severe weather across the plains, stretching out towards the Midwest today. We also could be seeing some more severe weather tomorrow from the southern plains all the way up towards the Mid-Atlantic and New England region. I want to jump right into this. It's my son's birthday tomorrow, so I've got a lot to do, but I want to make sure I get all of this information out to you guys. I'll also be streaming later, and I'll let you know when I'm going to hop on stream in my Discord. Here we go. Here is the latest categorical risk zone for today. You can see a large marginal risk stretching from central Texas all the way up through Michigan. You have a slight categorical risk stretching from central Texas all the way up towards Milwaukee and kind of the Chicago area. You're pretty close to that Chicago. And then we have our enhanced risk. This includes cities like Omaha, Des Moines right on the edge there, Topeka, Kansas City, Salina, Springfield, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Tulsa, and then almost down there towards Dallas-Fort Worth. Just be aware of that. Now let's break this down a little bit more. Here's our tornado risk today. If you're in the green section here, there's a 2% chance that a tornado could touch down within 25 miles of your location. With the brown section here, it's 5%. In the yellow, 10% chance a tornado could touch down within 25 miles of your location today. Now, if you're in this hatched area, this is a SIG 1, meaning we could see a tornado as strong as an EF2, potentially plus today. Now, we did have this same hatched area over the panhandle of Texas, western Oklahoma, and portions of south central Kansas yesterday. And guess what? We did see one significant tornado, PDS tornado. So it actually worked very, very well. So good on the National Weather Service and SPC for figuring out this new intensity rating, SIG 1, SIG 2, SIG 3. It's already off to a good start. Again, areas like St. Louis, although you're only in a 2% threat for tornadoes today, if we do see a tornado spawn out here, it is possible that it could be as strong as an EF2, potentially even stronger. But again, only a 2% chance, so not that high of a chance. Best to keep your alerts on still. Chicago, you're just outside of that SIG. Milwaukee, you are in this SIG 1 area. Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, you guys know where you are. A lot of major population centers. We're really watching this region right here. Northwestern Arkansas, southwestern Missouri, and then eastern Oklahoma. Joplin, you're right on the border of this. Springfield, you're in here. Bentonville, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, all the way down to Paris. And this is almost pushing down to McKinney, Texas, just to the north of Dallas-Fort Worth. Taking a look at our wind threat today, we have a large 5% risk for damaging wind. Then we have a 15% here. Still a pretty broad risk for damaging wind. This stretches from Dallas-Fort Worth all the way up to Milwaukee, but we do have that SIG 1 section here. So anywhere from Davenport, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, down to Topeka, Omaha, Kansas City, the chance for significant damaging winds, we're talking hurricane force or above. 74 miles per hour plus is possible. Taking a look at our hail risks for today, large 5% risk, slightly smaller 15, and then here's our 30% risk. Now we have a SIG 1 here as well, so stretching from Madison, Wisconsin, all the way down through Des Moines, Omaha, Kansas City, down to Tulsa, Oklahoma City, through Dallas-Fort Worth, down to San Angelo, Texas. That's a SIG 1, meaning we could see 2, 3 plus inch hail in this region here. Of course, once you get into the 15%, this yellow region, there's a 15% chance you see this hail within 25 miles from any point in this region, and then a 30% chance in this red region. I want to get into the severe weather tomorrow. This is our categorical risk, marginal stretching all the way up from portions of Michigan and New York, all the way down through Texas. We do have a slight risk for severe weather stretching from portions of Kentucky through West Virginia, Ohio, PA, and New York, and then another one down here for portions of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. Getting right into our tornado risk, there is the chance, and we talked about this last night on stream, but there's the chance for some tornadoes up here through portions of West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then out there towards the Buffalo region of New York. Just a 2% chance, but still pay attention. We could have a QLCS or squall line setting up, and a lot of times those can produce actually more tornadoes than a discrete mode, but typically they're weaker. We'll get into the timing and take a look at this in just a second. We also have the chance for some tornadoes down there through portions of Dixie Alley. You can see West Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. So we're going to be watching this area as well. I think we may have the potential for some stronger tornadoes down in this area, but still just a 2% chance. Taking a look at our wind threat tomorrow, those same areas that we're watching for the tornado threat also have a little bit of an elevated wind threat. So 15% risk up there to the northeast, and then this 15% wind risk down here that does stretch all the way out through San Antonio, through Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, you're in that 5% risk. Taking a look at our hail threat, we could see some large hail again, 2 to 3 inch plus hail down here through portions of Texas, basically stretching from Shreveport through Texarkana, Paris, Texas, McKinney, Dallas-Fort Worth, all the way out towards San Angelo, down to Del Rio, out to Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Houston, Austin. All the major population centers in Texas basically are in this 15% SIG 1 hatched risk for hail. Houston, right on the border of the SIG 1. I would treat it as a SIG 1 anyways, though, so large hail is possible. Before we get into the timing of the storms, I quickly wanted to go over the precipitation forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. This is just over the next 3 days. A lot of rainfall. We're talking 2 to 3 inch plus, maybe more locally, for portions of Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and then down there through southeastern Texas. Also, some heavy rainfall is actually falling right now through portions of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We have a mesoscale analysis up here for heavy rainfall. Just be aware if you're out here through portions of Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, Illinois, and Michigan could see the potential for some flash flooding. We're seeing a lot of precipitation up here in the Pacific Northwest over the next 3 days as well, so I wanted to note that. Pushing out 5 days, our precipitation totals down here continue to grow, and then getting out towards 7 days, you can see we are going to get soaked down here. Shreveport, Little Rock, Dallas, a lot of major cities in here, Memphis, Jackson. I know I'm leaving some out. A lot of major cities in here, and we're talking 5 inches plus. We could see 9, 10 plus inches locally. It is possible, so be aware that flash flooding is obviously a concern moving forward here. All right, I do want to get into the timing of our severe weather. I'll just run through this really quickly. 6 to 10 day forecast. We're still warm across central to southern tier states, cooling down up there through portions of the upper Midwest, really the Midwest in general, northern plains out towards the Northwest. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Look at that. Cold air returns for the Ohio Valley out east and tries to push back down into the southeast. By the way, if you guys want to join my lives, if you join my Discord, the link to my Discord is right down in the description below. I always tell you when I'm going live. Also, all the graphs, everything we look at in these videos is in my Discord. My Discord is updated every single day with the latest on winter storms, tropical weather, severe weather, volcano updates, earthquake updates, tsunami updates. Everything's in there. Climatology updates, and we have almost 700 weather enthusiasts in there. So if you want to join, it's a great place to join, and I'll tell you when I'm going live, but we always try to cover what's going on around the states every single day weather-wise. Here we go. This is our risk zone for today. Let's take a look at the latest HRRR. Obviously, we have some significant downpours up here through portions of Iowa, Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. Now, we could see the potential for some severe weather up through this region over the next few hours, but things are really going to start to kick off as we push off into the early afternoon. So I'll actually take that risk zone away real quick. Now, as we get into the early afternoon hours today, we're going to start to see some thunderstorms firing off, especially down here through Texas and Oklahoma. We'll start to see potentially some thunderstorms firing off in eastern Kansas. Things could start getting severe as we get into the early to mid-afternoon. Let's move forward in time towards 4 to 5 p.m. and things are really firing off now. You can see we have some thunderstorms still moving through the Dallas-Fort Worth region up towards Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Could be just to the east of Oklahoma City. Fort Smith, Fayetteville, western Arkansas, you're going to want to pay attention as we get into the late afternoon. Up here towards Topeka, Kansas City, Omaha, we have storms moving through late afternoon, early evening. Pay attention. These could be severe. Let's push forward a little bit in time here. And then up there in Michigan as well, you're getting thunderstorms early afternoon as we push into the early evening as well. Let's push forward to about 7, 8 o'clock, getting real messy up here. Iowa, pushing out towards central Missouri. You can see down here, Springfield, Missouri. Towards Little Rock, we're still getting some thunderstorms here. Could be strong to severe thunderstorms. Dallas, we still have some storms down there. Now, I think things start to turn more severe as we get later into the evening. You can see around 9, 10, we start to get a QLCS forming here, more of a linear mode. And this could prompt potentially some stronger winds and elevate our tornado chances. So this is going to be out here towards 9 to 10 p.m., pushing out towards eastern Kansas, northwestern Missouri. You see that squall line beginning to form, and it begins to stretch really from central Milwaukee all the way down into, it tries to push all the way down into central Oklahoma here. You still got some strong storms out ahead of it. We're talking 11 p.m. tonight into midnight, and that squall line begins to move out into the east, and it begins to stretch again down to the south. You can see almost down towards central Texas here. It's going to be a little bit of a mess today. You could definitely get severe weather with these thunderstorms that fire off early to mid-afternoon. As we get into the early evening, we're going to try to see a consolidated squall line out here across the central plains pushing out east. And then as we push into the overnight hours, this is when things could get dangerous for some people out here. I'm watching southwestern Missouri, southeastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas today especially. Pushing out a little bit further, we're going to have a rough commute in the morning potentially for anyone in this region. Our storms are going to continue to push off into the east. And then as we get into the early afternoon hours, this is when we could start seeing the potential for some severe weather up and down this line. This is a decent looking squall line on the HRRR. So know where you are. It's not always typical you get severe weather this early on in the day. So western Pennsylvania pushing through central to southeastern Ohio. We're watching Kentucky, Indiana, western Tennessee, portions of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. If I left you out, you know where you are. Make sure you have your alerts on. Make sure you know what's going on as we get into the afternoon hours tomorrow. We push a little bit later into the evening hours, and now we have the squall line pushing out towards eastern Pennsylvania, almost into Virginia, out towards North Carolina. We have some storms moving into Georgia, Alabama. We're continuing to see a lot of thunderstorms stretching all the way down the Gulf Coast here through Louisiana and Texas. And then as we push through the night, these storms are likely going to begin to dissipate a little bit, but we could still see a lot of rainfall and some flooding concerns down here again across the Gulf states. Like I said, I'm going to try to get on later to stream. I'll watch if we have any considerable severe thunderstorm warnings or if we have any tornado warnings popping up, and I'll let you know on my Discord if I'm going to hop on stream, when that's going to be, and how long I'll be on for. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you like the video, like the video. I'll see you in the next one or in the live stream today.